Yes, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is still the AM chat, and the discussion will definitely continue. It continues on AM chat, and we did tell you after the short break or before the short break that we have some guests in the house beside the princess this morning, and they're from the Lions Club. They're here to actually discuss something very important, especially if you're a mother or you're a potential mother or a father who has a child. The information will definitely help you, this morning. So let me do my introduction. They're in the house. They're from the Lions Club International, Multiple District 404. They're right in the house, and we'll talk about measles vaccination campaign. Measles vaccination campaign. Measles is common, especially during the dry season, this season, and they're here to let us know what the plans they have towards that effect. So I'm going to start from my far left by introducing the council chairperson, Lion Bolagade at DBC. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's so nice to have you. And of course, Lion PCC, who is a doctor, Dr. Yinka Griffin. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
And of course, Lion PCC, Kola Oyekomi, who is right here, very close to me.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you.
Thank you.
So, you're from the Lions Club International, Multiple District 404. Could you tell us, let me start with Lion PCC, Kola Oyekomi. Could you tell us about what you do, what the Lions Club stands for?
The Lions Club stands for service. Our motto is we serve, and we serve in all ramifications. We are an NGO, and as of today we are 101 years old as an international organization.
Okay.
It's a service organization.
Okay.
We have our target, we have our focus. Our focus actually is at first, but recently we have also combined all that service activities, which includes measles campaign initiatives.
Okay, this morning we talked about oral care, and the guest this morning talked about we as a mother, that particular care is enforced in the home. Not only that, we even went further to talk about the place of a woman in making sure they have oral care, keeping oral hygiene, making sure they keep themselves clean. And this morning we're talking about measles. It happens in children, but we'll discover that even adults sometimes comes down with measles, which is a very rare occasion. So tell us what you know about this rare condition, measles. Dr. Yinka Griffin will help us learn that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Measles is one of the incidentally preventable, the emphasis on preventable childhood diseases. And it has a high disease burden and can even be fatal, carries a high mortality rate, apart from morbidity rate, and affects children mainly between the ages of 9 months and 59 months. Also 9 months and 5 years. And it's a viral disease, airborne disease that the children contact, as we have said, especially in the dry and hot seasons in subtropical climate here. And like I said, it's a preventable disease through vaccination, and that's where the emphasis is. Prevention is better and cheaper than cure, and we as Lions Club International offering humanitarian services, are partnering with our National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPACDA, and other partners in combating and even eventually eradicating this dreaded disease of childhood disease of measles. And our role there mainly is advocacy and social mobilization to create awareness, because in our culture here there are many different ideas, notions regarding this disease, because it has been with us for a long time. Our role is to clarify the situation, create more awareness, so that during this period, particularly when we are carrying out a national measles campaign, to enlighten the mothers and encourage them to bring out their children for immunization. Because
I would like Mr. Chairman to give us more into why you are partnering. I know that Lion service to humanity.
Yes.
What you do, but now you are partnering to ensure that this awareness go to the knocks and crying.
Okay, so let me start by saying that from where at the past council chair Color Economy stopped, that the focus, the service area of Lions is the site prevention of blindness and
site
conservation. Because a sequelae of measles and the blindness, a child who has measles can actually go blind. It's of interest to Lions. That's why we take it as part of our service area. We partner with the federal government, let me use that word, on measles, because we believe that government can do so far, so much. There are certain things that other non-government agencies can do. Government will give vaccination, but we can let people know that they must take their children for vaccination, know where to go for it, know how soon to go for it, and try to disabuse their mind about all misgivings, about doubts about it. Like Dr. Griffin said, we are involved in advocacy and social mobilization. Advocacy will go to community leaders, the KBSCs, the chiefs, the emirs, and talk to them so that they can convince their people. They are a repository of the trust of the communities. We go to them. Also, as we are talking now, Lions are on the roads, road shows, street from street, giving flyers and literature to encourage people to take, telling them where to go for these vaccinations. That's why we are at this point.
Now, in the multi-district group, the Lions, your own area, are you trying to get all other districts involved in this exercise?
Oh yes, it's ongoing. We have 4 districts in Nigeria, spread all over the country, both in the northern and the southern part. And right now, we're participating heavily in the southern part. Let me state right here that this campaign from the Lions side is being funded by our Lions Club International Foundation. We call it LCIF.
Okay.
It's an international our own foundation. Charity. Our members contribute to it, and from those funds we carry out such humanitarian services as said, site first, disaster relief, measles and diabetes. In this year, we're focusing very much on diabetes.
Now, doctor, I want to ask, because I know mothers will be watching right now, and you rightly said that you've given us the age range within which children can actually come down with measles. Often as you try to sensitize them about the vaccination campaign, we should talk more about prevention. Could you let mothers know, or even fathers, how they can prevent their children from coming down with measles, before we begin to talk about the centers that they can actually go, for this free measles vaccination that you're providing?
That's what we're about. This simple way is to get the child vaccinated.
Okay.
Period.
So, mothers, you've heard, it's as simple as that. I had to ask the doctor to actually say it, not me, so you can actually know how simple it is for you to prevent your child coming down with measles, especially this dry season. And we all know that we don't have enough money.
I would like Lion to tell us the centers that you think, the center you have, that people can go to have free.
Primarily, all primary healthcare
Lagos State
centers all over the country. All over the country. And in Lagos, there are 2 streams of this campaign this year. The first one started March 15, and is going to continue to March 22. Then the second stream would also start by 22 to 27. So all primary health care and all these people also go to local governments, they go to schools, they go to community halls. They are spread all over the place. Those are fixed immunization posts all over.
Now, Dr. told us that you have these flyers that you're giving out to enlighten people on the danger of measles and how to prevent measles and all that. But I would like to know, measles, apart from affecting children, what about adults? At what age do you think one can at least be sure that free from it?
Well, if the children have the vaccination at the period we mentioned, between 9 months and 59 months, they can have it once. They can have the first dose. They can have booster doses, particularly when we have disease burden reoccurring outbreaks. They'll be protected. It's very rare, as moderator has said earlier, it's very rare for adults to come down with this disease. But nevertheless, it happens. And if it happens, you expect that adults will have gotten the vaccination. Maybe those who come down with the disease are those who did not get the vaccination when they were young. And if it happens, it's a viral disease that has no specific treatment. Just give the general, symptomatic treatment of bringing down the fever.
Chairman, we have in Nigeria today career women who have no time to take care of their children. Then what's your advice ensuring that they have their children vaccinated?
We'll talk about mothers, we're going to talk about caregivers
and guardians.
The most important thing, the key issue, is to get that child to a vaccination center and to be immunized.
Okay.
Who does it is a different ballgame. The mother may be able to create one day when the campaign is going to go, or get a caregiver, or get a guardian to do it. But the most important thing is that that child must not go unimmunized.
We have routine immunization programs. Every child born in any hospital or health center will be given their schedule. It's an immunization schedule. One you get at first month, the second month, and lastly measles. That's 9 months. Before 9 months, the children will have gone through the other vaccinations necessary. So it's sort of a routine thing in any health center, any either big or small and all that.
Now, Doctor, you may think that his question is out of place. Let me tell you the reason why. There are mothers who do not follow through with the routine. Once they do one set, they get carried away with the waves of life, as it were. Again, I would love you to emphasize the need why children need to get vaccinated, especially for measles. That is your camera there. Sensitize. So this is a wide coverage. Sensitize for that purpose.
Yes. Well, like I said, this campaign is coming up as a sort of booster campaign to give those mothers and guardians the opportunity to get their children vaccinated if they have not been vaccinated as a sort of routine program. So they can come out during this campaign and get their children immunized. But like it has been earlier mentioned, there are certain notions and challenges that the mothers have. Not only working mothers, but even ordinary mothers have some notions that maybe if you give the children measles vaccination, they will come out down with high fever, that is dangerous and all that. That's one of the essence of the campaign, to convince the mothers that this vaccination is free and 2, it is safe.
Okay.
It is free
And it is safe.
and it is safe.
And you can get it any primary.
Please, I would want you again to let us know where they can get it as we round up on the discussion. You mentioned schools, you mentioned health centers. Tell us more.
Community halls.
Community halls.
There are community halls.
Health centers.
Local government areas, secretariats.
Okay.
Then after this campaign, these health workers also go from street to street.
Okay.
They knock on doors and ask guardians and parents to bring out
their children. So you're advising that they should bring out their children. It is safe. It is safe.
Free.
It is free.
And it saves lives.
And it saves lives. Okay, we want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show. We've been talking with people, friends from the Lions Club International, Multiple District 404. The council chairperson, Lion Bolagade Adebisi, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Lion PCC, Dr. Yinka Griffin, thank you, doctor, for coming. And of course, Lion PCC, Kola Oyekomi, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
So you have all the information. Make sure you bring out your children, take them to the health centers, and when they come knocking at your door, make sure you open and get your children vaccinated. That is how we'll round up the show this morning. We want to thank everyone who has been watching the show and everyone who had made our production possible this morning, from our cameraman right here to everyone at the NCR and the engineering department, Samson, Ayo, Adebakin, and everyone at the IT students who helped the production also. Thank you so much. My name is Anwar Benitier. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye-bye.
I want to say thank you very much for everyone that has been part of this wonderful production. I want to say thank you to the Lions Club, who have been able to come out to give us free vaccination and awareness on why we need to bring our children out to be vaccinated with this measles. Until next week, we shall be coming up